Ready? We're going on TV now. Hi, chat. Hi, I'm just a guy. Haha. First, that's cheating. You posted in chat before the stream was started. I'm just a guy. That's cheating. But good to see you as well. I didn't know you could chat while in the starting soon stream page. But I didn't actually even start the stream until like 9:04, so clearly you somehow put a chat message in there beforehand. But hello everyone, how are we doing? Oh, it is I, your fairy person 2 on the Goondola to Gacha hell, Jinx. And I am fucking exhausted and tired. I have not been able to sleep like worth a shit this entire week. Holy. Very tired. Doesn't help that I went out to a queer goth night with friends last night and drank a lot. And I'm old. I'm a 32-year-old hag at this point, and I cannot drink and recover like I used to anymore. In my early 20s, I could drink way too much B5 the next day, but not anymore. My body can't handle it, can't take it no more. But overall, plan today is to do some more Cartethyia Changli stuff. I did like some of the runs that we got last time, but I'm still not really fully satisfied with it. I still feel like I haven't had the chance to do a proper comparison between this and the Cartethyia and Ciaccona team. So far, it kind of just seems like they're pretty equivalent in power, but it's also hard to say with bias because my Changli is unnecessarily cracked. I also kind of want to crunch some numbers and figure out exactly how much damage I'm actually getting out of the S2 on my Changli. Because I can ballpark the figure in my head, but at the end of the day, I would like to know the exact amount of how much larger my numbers are. Because since she's the only character only 5-star character I actually have any sequences activated on, it does mean that any testing I do with her is going to have some bias coming from that, and potentially have less legitimacy, because people are just like, oh, well, of course, but your Changli is S2, so obviously, yada yada, this is going to be stronger. So I am actually curious to see exactly how big of an upgrade this S2 is. Ooh, which honestly, maybe we do that first. While I wake the fuck up. While I wake the fuck up and suck in some chat energy and streaming energy to actually get my brain and body working properly. Let's just do a little bit of quick. What the heck is this and why is it here? Why is this in my bookmarks? Weird. Yeah, this was the one we were using for some other stuff. Okay, let me just go ahead and tagging me anytime. Okay, so attack. CR, CD. So just raw stat-wise, 2198. Crit rate is 59. 59.5%. Let me pull up my full stat page real quick, so just make it easier. Yoink. There we go, and the resonant skill damage bonus. The only other one that's really relevant is what my fusion damage bonus is, since none of the other stats actually really matter. Since the vast majority of her damage is all going to be coming from resonant skill, right? Because her forte charge attack and the resonant skill and the follow-up from her resonant skill, her true sight capture, also counts as resonant skill damage. I believe, doesn't it? Wait a second. Conquest is resonant skill damage, yeah. So basically everything she does except for her ults is resonant skill damage. So that's really the only modifier that matters. And then set bonus wise, she of course gets another 30% after releasing resonant scale, because old school molten rift. And then sequence 1 is Because I do a lot of Changli playing and testing, and I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think this might be a fun thing to do on stream sometime, and maybe make a video out of, because I do kind of want to start actually trying to actively cut together some videos or things like that, even if it's just like Wallenstein style stuff of just like posting a run or two sort of thing. But I would like to try to actively start cutting some videos together. I've been running into issues with actually downloading the stream VODs, but I finally got that all properly figured out today. Because YouTube lets you download your own VODs and your own videos from YouTube itself, but they're always in 720p and it looks awful. And a lot of the YouTube downloading services or software I've used before doesn't work on stream VODs for some reason. And I finally found one that actually works now. I've been messing around with a YTDLT, which is just a command line Python script that you can use to download. That's really lightweight, and so far it looks like it's fine. I downloaded the 8.5-hour VOD from the last stream, and need to go check the quality and everything, but it seemed to download just fine, so that's good. Alright, so yeah, this is just Resonant Skill, and your fully charged attack have increases Zhongli's damage dealt by 10%, and that should be additive, so... Increase Zhongli's damage dealt by 10% in resistance to interrupt. The question I have with this is... Like, a question I have with this is... Does this even show in the sheet? I'm assuming that this is just a general 10% additive with, like, everything else in here. God damn, 112 fusion damage bonus. Right, because I also have this. So many stacking buffs for the Changli. So, yeah. Searing Feather... Gives 4% resonant skill damage, up to 12 stacks. Up to 14 stacks. It's probably safe to assume that this is going to be active most of the time. We're just going to average this at 10 stacks. Actually, how many stacks does she even get from? So she gets 10 from doing resonant skill twice. Let's just do an average of 12 stacks. Instead of actually bothering to calculate, I'm just going to say it's about 12 stacks, because she will get to max stacks fairly quickly. And it will generally be active for a decent amount of time, but she's not spending a lot of time on field to keep the stack maintenance up. So it is going to drop down after the 12 seconds fairly often during Quickswap. Either way, though, with... all of that, we are looking at... Or do we just calculate at peak performance? Let's just calculate peak performance. Okay, we'll just do 14 stacks for peak performance. But anyway, yeah, 1.11.1. So we're gonna be at res damage percent and fusion damage percent. So resonant skill damage percent is going to be at 111.1 with this maxed out, along with this is already included as well on the fusion side though. Holy shit, I have so much damage percent inflation on this character. Holy fucking shit. 111.1, that's so much. Oh my goodness. And then fusion damage percentage goes up to 112%. That's cracked to hell and back. My Changli does a lot of damage. Oh, but yeah, my Chang is a lot of damage. Okay, fusion damage bonus 112%. So this is... So S1's only giving me an additive 10% to that. Are you fucking kidding me? That's so little. And those are the only relevant ones, since this is just more resonance percentage. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ, that's so much. Yeah, 30% from set bonus. Ugh, I'm wondering if my Changli would be better off with a 4-4-1-1, honestly. She actually might, but I don't know if I actually want to re-roll enough to do that. But my Changli might genuinely be better with a 4-4-1-1-1. This is like so much stacking percent bonus. That 10% is worth the hundreds of dollars. Oh yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I mean, the main nice thing about S1 is the damage interrupt resistance. But even then, like I said, I didn't get S1 because I was like hard wailing towards her. I literally just threw every pull I had at Changli, and so that ended up being the equivalent of throwing a total of 140 pulls. I got her weapon in 3 copies, so I just said, fuck it, that's good. I didn't actually try to push specifically for S2 or anything like that. It's just what ended up happening. But her S2 is, like, actually significant. That's the much more significant damage gain than anything else. So, we're just gonna say that... Okay, what is my... The only other thing that matters is Resistance Liberation. Alt. Damage percent. But it's also, like, not a big part. And I only have 7.1%. And it's not even intentional. It's just a random side substat. Okay. Let's pop this down here. Let's pop this down here. Equal to sum of... Equal to this plus this. Okay. S1 is... Okay, so sum with S1. With S1 is equal to this. Plus... Whoops. Plus B18. Ugh. My new keyboard was supposed to come in today. And I actually ran downstairs because I got a text message. I got a package from Amazon. Like 5 minutes before I started stream, and I ran downstairs. But it was not the correct package. And it also was not from Amazon. It was some random shit I got from China. So I still am using my busted-ass no backlight keyboard right now that has keys that may or may not work. But it is what it is. Okay, so with S1, and then that means that... But this is not... But this is also not 223%, it actually has a base 100% as well, so... Sum with base. Because this is actually 3 times as much damage. Plus 100%. Thus, damage gain. Assuming that, because it doesn't say this is an amplify, which means that it should be in the same pool. So that's a 3% damage gain. Cool. So my S1 is giving me 3% more damage on only my resonance skills and my follow-up and my charge attack, not even including my conquests attacks and not including my ult. Holy shit, that's so fucking bad. S1 is like actually... What the fuck is this S1? Her S1 is so bad. Yeah, so don't go for Changli S1. It's not worth it. S2 probably is, but S1 isn't. Holy shit. Okay, yeah. Alt damage gain percent. Whoops. Plus 1. I'm just gonna be lazy and do this. With S1. This plus this. Put the S1 over there. Or over here? Yeah, sure. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? I don't know. Formatting doesn't really matter that much. We're just punching out quick maths. So it's a 5% damage gain on alt damage. And I'm just going to be lazy. Instead of doing full rotation calc, I'm just going to use Grimm's calc on damage distribution because his rotation is almost equivalent to what I end up doing with Quickswap anyway. Which is going to be 61.4 and 23.8. Damage gain... 61.4%. Damage percent is confusing. Rotation percent. Okay. 23.8. And again, this isn't even, this is like actually an inaccurate number, because that's not even including, you know what, let's just check this real quick actually. What is the total MV? This is an easy calc anyway. Flaming Sacrifice. Move all of these over to the side. Okay. Let's see here. Flaming Sacrifice is her enhanced forte. So CA is equal to 39.25%. I really should know these values by heart, considering how much I fucking play and calc this character, but I do not, so. In percent format, please. Is that correct? Ah, that's much lower than I remember it being. Alright. So yeah, charge attack is 650. Resonance skill. Capture. And Conquest is the basic attack, right? Because that's what we use the vast majority of the time. Yeah, so Conquest. CA. Skill. Conquest. Equal to 81.88% times 3. 1% times 3 plus 82.52% plus 94.31%. And this is what I was talking about the other day when I was saying that Changli's damage is so very evenly distributed amongst her entire kit in terms of the things that she does that are actually important, which is why it definitely can seem like Changli's not doing that much damage, because unlike other characters, she doesn't have this big burst period where you're like, oh, look at that gigantic chunk of damage she did, and her gigantic chunk would really just be like forte charge attack, alt forte charge attack, and that is a good chunk, but it's also only a somewhat small portion of her actual DPS output. She doesn't have any particularly gigantic bursts that look as impressive as like an entire Gion ult or as impressive as a Jinsei Dragon, so it can definitely make her feel like she's not doing as much, but your Resonance skill is doing 2/3 the damage of your Forte charge attack, so, and then the Conquest is making it do more damage than that. 58.95% times 2 plus 82.520%. I need to get a new numpad too. I use external numpads, but mine broke a while ago and I've been too lazy to get a new one, because I prefer having like a separate numpad for things. Whoops. I'm gonna do an equals there. Format. You know what? Fuck it. Everything format. Percents. This is all in percent, so might as well. Okay, so charge attack, skill, and conquest. These are the only two that get the damage bonuses. All of our conquests do not. Per rotation, we are going to be getting 2 of these. Whoops. Okay, maybe not everything in percents. We're going to get 2 of these, we're going to get 2 of these, and we're going to get 4 of these because we're also including intros. We also have intro damage, which is... Maybe I should just move these to a different tab or something. Ah! Drag properly. Intro is equal to 44.5% plus 25.96% times 4. And then we do a total of... We do a total of 2 of these. So this, whoop, this is equal to this times this. Drag that full thing. Okay, and so these are the only two that our S1 applies to. S1 applies to for that juicy 3.1% damage gain. So S1 sum is equal to this plus this. And then the rest is, and then remainder is equal to this plus this. Thus S1 percentage is equal to this divided by this plus this. Or maybe I should just do like a total sum. Total rotation equal to this plus this. Okay. And just to simplify this formula, so we have improper reference in case values have to change later. We'll just do this divided by this. 59.3%. Which means that S1... Let's see. S1 res damage gain. Let's make that bigger. Equal to this times... Wow, 1.84% damage gain on the S1 for resonance skill damage. It also increases our... And it doesn't even increase our ult damage, right? It literally is just resonance skill. Holy shit, S1 is garbage. Changli's S1 is so bad. Huh? I'm assuming this means it only applies to those two. Because it doesn't give a duration, which means it can't possibly give you a permanent, like, a permanent damage bonus, right? That doesn't make any sense.
Then conquer by ingenuity.
Yeah, I don't even know why I bothered doing the ults. Like, S1 doesn't even apply to it. Okay, so S1 is giving me a 1.84% damage increase. That's so bad. They couldn't at least, like, make it an amplify or something? That's so bad. Okay, so really the important part is what my crits change is. So 323.6 3.6% attack, put that into number format. Crit mod is equal to this plus 1 times this times this, and then minus 1? Oh my god, why can't I remember how crit formulas work? I am so washed up. Crits times this minus 1 plus 1. Okay, yeah, no, that... Okay, yeah. This times this minus 1. And plus 1. So 233% damage increase from crits because I have an absurdly high crit damage modifier. So basically over doubling my damage. And then S1 gives us an additional 25%. S1 gives us an additional 25%. Let me move all this down a little bit. Which means that S1 sum is equal to this plus this. Whoops. Equal to this. Equal to this. Which means that the end crit mod is 288.94, which means that percent gain is equal to this divided by this minus 1. Okay, that's a 24% damage gain. That's actually fairly significant. Really? 24? I guess my crit damage is so high that it ends up... yeah, I guess since my crit damage is three times as much damage, I guess it does actually end up working out pretty nicely. Which means that... it's not S2, this is S1. Oh, it's not S1, it's S2. So... S2% damage gain. So that basically means that, in summary, S2 total damage gain for my personal Changli. Oh wait, this is not assuming Shorekeeper buff though. I forgot to include Shorekeeper buff. Not that Shorekeeper buff applies to all of her stuff, but we might as well just include... let's see. Without SK. But I pretty much always run her with SK, because I prefer to run SK with Changli teams, personally, over Verena teams. With Shorekeeper, values change again. Plus 12.5%. Plus 25%. And then this plus this. With this. S2 sum. Whoops. 10. Or 11. And just copy this. That is not correct. It's just equal to that. Equal to this divided by this. 22% damage gain. 22% damage gain. Without SK, it's equal to 1 plus... oh, whoops, I accidentally zoomed in. 1 plus... bold that. Bold that, bold that. Okay. 1 plus this times 1 plus this. Whoops. Minus 1. Wait. These need to be order of operations. 26.26. And then with SK, it is same formula, but switch this out for 15. Okay, cool. All right, so we have exact numbers now on exactly what it looks like for my Changli. We have a 26.26 funny, 26.26% damage increase from having S2 on my personal Changli, and 24.52% with Shorekeeper versus without. And that is... so now we actually have a good idea of how much stronger my Changli is. It's pretty much a straight 25% equivalent. On average, we'll probably say, but... sorry, I didn't mean to bump my mic there. Because I do always say my Changli's damage is not really representative, and part of that too is that she's very well farmed and cracked. But even then, she's still only going to be 25% higher than an S0 Changli, because Changli sequences are not very good apparently. Okay, I guess the real question in terms of cleaning this stuff up is, can I push this to a sub 50 seconds? Because if I can, that means it's about equivalency.
True form revealed at last. My blade yearns. Tides rise and crash. Exonerate. Mind's eye. Windstorm. Sweep all away!
Leave it to me. Just their blessing. Loading.
Together we vanquish. Break! Crumble! Be gone, wicked souls!
Be reduced to cinders.
Break! True form. Revealed at last. Sounding the death knell. Atonement.
In war with time.
Take form. Furious tides. Split the heavens. Together we vanquish.
Terminate. Loading.
The answer is yes, I can if I play this cleaner. If I didn't waste that intro into Shorekeeper and I actually did some double swaps to Shorekeeper to get her second intro up faster, we would have been fine there. So, sub 50 is possible, but let's actually get the run first before I say anything else.
Who's the caged bird now?
Oceans, bow before me. I won't back down. You won't escape. Sentence befall. Tides rise and crash. Salvation.
Perish in flame.
My blade.
Oh, I need to be doing. I keep forgetting to do the Cartethyia swap back as well. Oh, weird. All right. Messed up my dodge timing there. Let me think about this a little bit more deeply. First rotation, we just feed. We just need to make sure that... I feel like I need to do a bit more to make sure Shorekeeper is getting her outro or her concerto fully built up before Cartethyia ults.
At hand. This very...
Take form.
So I need to do like a double basic cancel here at the bare minimum.
What loading?
Ah, I did one. Okay, that might screw things up a little bit.
Repent.
Pop this, swap back for the animation cancel. Oops, okay, that didn't work.
Take form.
Astral modulation. Loading.
Who's the caged
Pop this
bird
immediately.
now?
Pop this. Ooh, I was a little slow on that.
Bow before me. I won't back down.
Damn. Double alt animation makes it really hard to read what they're doing, so I mistimed those dodges.
Take
In war with time.
Pretty sure I did a double attack cancel, right? No, I did not. Great.
Loading.
true form.
Maybe let's do this one first.
Revealed at last.
Beckon the divine
Was that too early?
flames.
Sever.
No, it was fine.
Back down. Charge forth with me. Sounding the death knell. Sever. Atonement. Quietus.
Mind's eye.
Let's see if I can do
My
like...
blade.
Nah, I was trying to do a swap back, but I was too slow on it. It's fine.
Together we vanquish. You won't escape. Repent.
I could have done a swap there too.
Silence beckons. Torrents rage.
I engraft you new.
Together we vanquish. Flood. Charge.
Who's the caged
Oh,
bird
this is so bad.
now?
I am doing such bad rotations here.
Salvation. Furious tides. Split the heavens. Together we vanquish.
Loading.
Yeah, if I had done this a bit more cleanly and actually put it in an appropriate amount of swaps, that's an easy sub 50. Because I'm missing that very last Changli 40. I need to clear this. My Purge All Evil only does 22k, lol. Smile. Yeah, I don't actually know how much is my doing. I'm not even paying attention to my numbers, honestly. I'm too focused on, like, my I'm too focused on my rotation. Are you, Zell, are you lacking her weapon or something? Because her weapon is, I think, around a 20 to 25% damage increase just because she doesn't have... I mean, the standard sword is still good on her, it's just lacking a lot of scaling stats for her. Part of it, too, could also be the amount of stacks that you have active, as well as what potential buffs you might have active at the time. And of course, like whatever your Echo set is. My Cartethyia's Echo set is okay. It's definitely not at the level I'm comfortable with for my general carries, but it is okay considering the general lack of farming I've been able to put into it. She's not yet fully built? Okay, yeah, that would make sense. I need to clean up my second rotation. It's the second rotation that I'm kind of messy on. And honestly, I think the big issue is I'm rushing Cartethyia's second ultra rotation, which isn't necessary because by the time my Cartethyia is ready, or my Fluid Release is ready, I still have over 3 seconds left until she can ult again because I'm doing it too quickly. So I think I need to spend a bit more time focusing on Changli and Shorekeeper swaps during that period of time.
Take iron graft you knew. Loading.
True form. Revealed at
Got
last.
this.
Be reduced to cinders.
I won't back down. You won't escape. Charge forth with me. Ha! Tide, rise and crash. Salvation. Okay.
Together we vanquish.
Furious tides. Split the heavens.
Together we vanquish.
Oath from the heart.
Is that a bit too early? Nope, we're good.
Graft you knew. Perish.
Oh my gosh, I'm fucking at my cancels really badly. This team would be better if I started on Shorekeeper, but my muscle memory is gonna be fucked if I have Shorekeeper on 3. It's just the swap back's costing me a second on Changli.
In war with time.
I do think I need to do this first though.
Loading.
Who's
I need to
the
go
caged
Changli first,
bird
not
now?
Cartethyia first.
Oceans.
Bow before me.
Ever.
It's just a little annoying because
Shall
that means I don't really have the time window I need. Actually, yeah, it means I don't have the window to guarantee her basic 4 lands without having the dodge counter, which is a bit rough.
take astral modulation. Loading.
Repent.
Oh, I did not do that cancel
For
right.
Silence beckons. I won't back down.
Beckon the divine.
Oh, that's super late on her ult now.
I won't back down.
Feathers incinerate.
Oh, whoops. I think I accidentally burned Fluid Release's resistance skill early. What's like a good amount of crit from artifacts? I know the answer is as much as you can give, but at some point it's really hard to get. Yeah, of course, Gaggledan. I would say... I mean, the general aim is to make sure you have double crit on every single piece, and even on low rolls of double crit every single piece, that's going to be, let's just say, I mean, 6.9% crit rate, right? So that would be roughly 35 crit rates and 70 crit damage. So I would say probably the best point to aim for would be like a 40-80 from like your substats. Then of course you go either crit damage or crit rates on the forecast, although in the case of Cartethyia you're running both. I mean, I do think Grim has pretty good recommendations on Pridwin for that, right? About like, this is around what you should be aiming for with a double forecast. Overall. So the thumbnail, yes, I saw the thumbnail and thought you were still streaming from yesterday. Yeah, I have been like so tired and I was doing a bunch of other stuff today that so I didn't really have time to make a new thumbnail and kind of just said, fuck it, I'm doing the same thumbnail again. I'm just putting parts 2 on it, because shrug. Because still basically continuing on from what you were doing last time, I'm just trying to refine things down a little bit more. Like, I already had a 50, we already had like several like sub 55 second runs. I just really want to try to get the sub 50.
Revealed at last.
Be reduced.
Because that just means all I need to do is clean up my second rotation. My second rotation is just still like not very good.
Sentence before sounding the death knell.
Mind's eye.
Fuck. I pressed E too early.
Take 4. Astral modulation.
Rolls for Cypher, 150/50s.
Loading.
Pretty much otherwise hit like just regular pities though.
Bow before me.
Who's the caged bird now?
Be gone, wicked souls. Fall.
Diminish.
Tides, rise and crash. Charge forth with me.
Stay calm.
Vanish.
That is not who that was supposed to go to.
A mere scratch upon my blade. Windstorm. Sweep all the way.
In flames. Together we vanquish.
I put intro to the wrong person.
Take iron graft you knew. Loading.
Repent. For silence beckons.
Oops. Wrong button.
Take 4. In war with time. Loading.
True form. Revealed at last.
Beckon the divine flames.
Purge the impure. I won't back down. Destroy.
Diminish.
Torrents. Rage on. Sounding the death knell.
Perish in
Exonerate. Flood. Charge forth with me. My blade. Purge all evil.
Together we
No, that was too early. Fuck. And he cancelled it anyway.
Try.
Alright.
Take 4. Iron graft you knew. Loading.
Repent. For silence beckon.
be reduced to cinders.
Sever. I won't back down. You won't escape.
Failed my charge attack. Animation cancel there. Wood sucks because you just need all double crit rolls on all echoes basically, but Wood's great because you don't need to keep rolling into desirable stats after getting them on the echo for the first time. Yeah, pretty much. Like, the other stats are nice, and they definitely help, but really getting double crit and, like, one extra good sub is pretty much sufficient for, like, for having a really strong build at that point, right? And at the end of the day, too, better play just helps you push even further, because, I mean, right now, we're just trying to clear this with sub 50 seconds, which is more than which means that we're doing well more than double the amount of damage needed to actually clear this with full stars, and this is like full end game.
Take full astral modulation.
I fucked up my cancel.
Loading oceans.
That's gonna be
Bow
awkward.
before me.
I should probably just restart after that, honestly.
Take 4. In war with time. Loading. Perish.
Repent.
Now it might be a better
For
cancel to do,
silence
maybe?
beckon.
Beckon the divine.
Shit, they didn't cancel that, did they?
I
Nope.
won't back down. Sentence before sounding the death knell. Exonerate.
Rectify. Okay.
Charge. Heavens! This windstorm.
Oh, I did the
All
tech.
way.
Together we vanquish.
Loading astral modulation.
I did not get this off in time, though,
Together
is the
we
only problem.
vanquish.
Break. Collapse. True form. Revealed at last.
Who's the caged bird now?
Rise and crash. Atonement.
Worry not.
Salvation.
My blade yearns.
Charge forth with me. My blade. Purge Purge all
I'm still
evil.
too slow on like getting Changli's other stuff out
Together
afterwards.
we vanish.
I need like that third forte charge attack on Changli, but I'm being too slow in getting like both the first one out and the second one out. I might need to focus a bit more on getting Changli stuff out than doing like all the quick swap stuff for Cartethyia, because she doesn't need the second rotation that fast. I'm still like beating her second alt rotation. Changli looks so good, Tamawe Wolf Wolf. I'm glad that you like the skin critter.
Take 4.
Astral modulation. Loading. Oceans.
I don't know if that
Bow
cancel was worth it.
before me.
Be reduced to cinders.
Break.
Crosscut. Sever.
Sounding the death knell.
At your disposal.
Together we vanish.
Be gone, wicked souls.
Oh, interesting. I can't swap back. Oh, my manifest must have wore out. Okay. I'm trying to do a tech that lets you get a bit more damage on Fluid Release's ult, but it doesn't actually quite work with this rotation, I guess.
Take 4.
Iron graft you knew. Loading.
True form. Revealed at last. I won't.
Why was she in the air? Oh, right, because I fucking did the wrong attack on Shorekeeper and it launched her into the air. Okay, okay. This is fine.
Take 4.
In war with time. Loading. Perish. Oceans.
Bow before me.
Beckon the
I think I got that timing right?
divine
Yeah, we're good.
Purge the impure.
Clean. Terminate.
Gales purify. Tides rise and crash.
My blade yearns. Together we vanish.
Flood. My blade. Purge all evil.
Together we vanish. Sever.
In war with time.
Who's the cage?
Yeah, I don't need the
bird
Cartethyia stuff just now. We'll focus on Changli for now.
Repent. For silence beckons. Torrents, rage on. Tides, rise and crash.
Yeah, that was not good. Okay. Cool. Yeah, how do I clean up that second rotation more? I'm so close to full clearing Deadly Assault stage with Nekomata. Oh, hell yeah, let's do it. So if I said it right, the middle sword on Cartethyia 40 can only be gone with an intro skill. No, the middle sword is using her full basic attack combo. Middle sword is full basic attack combo. Left side is charge attack or intro. Right side is resonant skill.
Take 4.
Iron graft you knew. Loading. Diminish.
True form. Revealed at last.
Be reduced.
I think that was too
to
early.
Cinders.
I won't.
It was too early. Animation cancelled too early, so she didn't get the last sword out. Maybe I don't do the early cancel, because it's the manifest only lasts 12 seconds, and if I'm clean, that's enough time. I don't know if it's worth it, though.
Take 4.
In war with time. Loading.
Purge, repent.
That is not what I meant to
For
do.
silence beckons.
This.
Time to getting Neko Sig for Yishue, and then might as well build Neko. Yeah. Yeah, it is a decent stat stick for her.
Take 4.
Astral modulation.
That is not the cancel I need.
Form.
Loading. Oceans.
Bow before me.
Who's the caged bird now?
Break! I won't back down. Destroy! Sever! Scales purify! Ha! Tide!
Feathers
Rise and crash!
incinerate.
That seriously just missed.
Together we vanquish.
Heaven! Descend! Collapse! Windstorm! Sweep all
It's just a
the way.
stat stick. It's just the Neko stick is a stat stick for her.
Oceans, bow before me.
Sever.
Astral modulation.
Oh, this is bad. This is not a good rotation.
Reduced.
I wasted
to
like 2 stacks on
cinders.
Changli already.
Destroy! Sounding the death knell.
In flames. Mind's eye.
Diminish.
Atonement.
My blade. Take full.
Disperse!
Take full.
In war with time. Loading.
Repent. For silence beckons.
Who's the caged bird now?
Pretty God! I won't back down.
What? Okay.
Torrents, rage on! Tides, rise and crash!
Feathers. Incineration. Together we vanquish.
Charge
That was a mistake. I play too many of these games. I was playing ZZ and I was like, where did my 14 bar go? Yeah, fair. Some characters do have 40 bars. Yeah, in a sense. I mean, it's all kind of like core passive stuff at the end of the day, right? Neko Stick and Haru Sigs are stat sticks. A little better compared to the Rupture 4-star Wenjin right now. Yep, unfortunately. The 4-star Wenjins for Rupture are not particularly good. And, like, Haramasa's is just a straight stack stick, which is why Haramasa is, like, the second best option for Evelyn, which is why I'm using Haramasa's Wenjin on Evelyn, because I threw a temple at it and got it purely off of luck.
Is the bat. Take full.
Astral modulation. Loading.
perish. True form, revealed at last.
Be reduced to cinders.
Break! I won't back down. Ha! You won't escape.
Take form.
Iron graft you knew. Loading. Diminish.
Oceans, bow before me.
Yeah, that's all I was afraid of if I try to fit that extra 2 in on Shorekeeper. Jin, go to settings and graphic and world filter adjust to 50%, 100%, 80% through about 90%. Interesting. Is that like a performance boost sort of thing? Also, does that really matter like in tower, or is that more of like an outside of tower sort of thing? Yeah, the Twitch gift subs to one of the glider skins? Yeah, that is a thing. Which I got from gifting to Spider when I was in his stream yesterday. But I need to like actually cash it in. I just completely forgot to.
Take form.
In war with time. Loading.
Repent. For silence beckon.
Who's the caged bird now?
I won't back down. I won't back down.
Crosscut. Sever.
Sentence before. Sounding the death knell. My blade. Purge all evil.
Together we vanquish.
Leave it to me. Iron graft you knew. Loading.
Together we vanquish.
Purge the impure.
Feathers insipid.
Repent. For silence beckons.
My blade beckon the divine flames. Sever.
I think this is only gonna work if I start with Changli. I can't get quite enough swaps into Changli to finish her finish her second Force charge attack early enough unless I start with her.
Take 4.
Even though it kind of makes it more annoying to do Cartethia's rotation.
What loading? Perish.
Be reduced to cinders.
Be gone, wicked souls!
Did that just miss, really?
Revealed at last. Torrents, rage on. Tides, rise and crash.
Together we vanquish.
Vanish. Finally. Windstorm.
Yeah, I think the rotation works better, even though Changli missed one of her things, but regardless.
Such is their blessing.
Together we vanquish. Mind's eye. Sever.
In war with time. Perish.
Beckon the divine flames.
Oh my gosh, she's so low on energy, though. Is it really because, like, does missing that basic 5 that I didn't do in her combo earlier really cost her that much energy? Or is it because I'm not doing the... it's because I'm not doing the early one. I'm not doing the, like, early combo on her. Yeah, okay. I'm not doing the early ult, so she's not funneling energy into the second ult right away.
Astral modulation. Loading.
Who's the caged bird now?
True form. Revealed at last.
Sever.
Heavens, descend.
Feathers in
Charge forth with me. Sounding the death cry.
Together we vanquish.
Disperse.
Together we vanquish.
Amid furious tides, split the heavens.
Purge the impure. Loading. Astral modulation.
Be reduced to cinders. Crosscut. Sever.
What am I doing? I'm throwing.
Bow before me. Gales purify. Tides rise and crash. Face your destruction. Flood. Charge forth with me.
Together we vanquish.
My rotations are getting worse now.
Take 4.
At this point, though, I do think it's pretty safe to say that this team is probably not better than the Ciaccona one.
Who's the caged bird now?
Oceans.
Bow before me.
Okay.
Rage on. Sounding the death knell.
Perish in flame.
Loading.
Together we vanquish.
Vanish. Charge forth with me.
Together we vanquish.
My blade. Purge all evil.
Beckon the divine flames.
Heavens, descend.
Iron graft you knew.
Take 4.
True form. Revealed at last.
Your rotations are better than mine? I mean, fair boost of Sloth. And, like, I've been playing this team for a while at this point. Hey, Red Cherry, how's it going? I'm doing okay. I'm really tired, honestly. I'm really quite exhausted from this week. I haven't really been able to sleep very well this entire week. So, very, very tired, honestly. But... bleh. Yeah, this second rotation is rough. Like, I feel like I need to focus on Changli more than I am. It's taking too long for her to get her... It's taking too long for her to get her, first
Who's the caged bird
resonant skill
now?
stack in.
Purge the impure. Oceans, bow before me.
Feathers exonerate.
Diminish.
Together we vanquish.
The tide. Vexing
Okay.
mass.
Okay. No charge attack input, I guess. It's like, I hate doing like 1.5, 2 second Changli swaps where you do your conquests, the follow-up attack, and then another resonance skill, but I think I have to here. There aren't quite enough swaps for me to be able to get her second forte out quickly. And Cartethyia can afford those if the timing is good.
Take form. In war with time. Loading.
Be reduced to cinders. Sever.
Purge the impure. Repent.
And I'm getting one guide too, which is gonna hurt a little bit for DPS wise.
Sounding the death knell. Atonement.
Gifts of the unkind.
Ugh, getting one guide really badly there. Take some vitamins with you if necessary, or at least you don't catch a cold. True. Oh, shoot. One sec. Actually, that's a good point. I haven't taken my vitamins today. Give me one sec. Eat some of these little gummy, chewy vitamins. But then why not just buy the one that gives a glider and a flight one though? Cost less too. I mean, that way you get to it costs you $12 instead of $10, right? But you gotta support a Twitch streamer that you like. This is why I threw like some gift subs at Spider personally yesterday. I need to actually like cash in that skin.
Astral modulation. Loading.
Who's the caged bird now?
Whoops, failed all those dodges.
Take form.
Iron graft you knew. Loading.
Beckon the divine.
Damn, that actually was a clean cancel there.
Sever. Crosscut. Sever.
True form. Revealed at last. Sounding the death knell. Vexing malice. Salvation. Windstorm. Sweep all the way.
Together we vanquish.
Leave it to me. Loading. In war with time.
Together we vanquish.
Like there, it's just whether to wait, even though it's like less efficient Quickswap wise. Fuck, I wasted a sack again.
Sever.
Terminate.
Yeah, I have to start with Cartethyia. I don't have enough energy otherwise. This team definitely runs into energy issues compared to the Ciaccona team. Finish building Cartethyia? Yeah, pretty much to the point I feel like right now. I need to farm more one-cost echoes, but you can't really farm those efficiently from tacit fields, so that's really more a matter of me actually having to go, like, run through a map and kill things. Would a rover or shorekeeper in this team? A shorekeeper is the answer. Or Quickswap setup, do more damage, give the highest damage ceiling? It's definitely shorekeeper. Without Ciaccona in the team, air rover does barely anything for Cartethyia. You can do like some very specific, weird Cartethyia rotations in order to make air rover more effective, but realistically, all air rover really gives you is the weapon, the R3 weapon's 18% arrow damage amplify and lets you get up to 6 stacks. That's pretty much all they do for you. They can't use the gust set because they can't apply arrow erosion without there being another dot on the target. So Air Rover, we actually did a napkin math calc on it yesterday, and even assuming that you have like Ciaccona buffing, you still end up with about the same amount of damage gain between Shorekeeper and Air Rover anyway, with Air Rover having like slightly better if you also account for having the extra stacks on Cartethyia consistently, but you can't do that without Ciaccona, realistically. Air Rover is actually not a very good unit. Without Ciaccona, they don't do a lot for Fleur-de-Lis. The big difference, though, is that Air Rover can actually will do some damage, and Shorekeeper really won't. But also, Air Rover takes way more field time.
Take 4.
Like, you can do specific rotations to make Air Rover work without Ciaccona, but it is a much bigger pain, and I honestly don't think it's necessarily worth it.
Divine flames.
Oceans, bow before me. I won't back down.
Perish in
Ugh.
flames.
Air Rover sequences help. Air Rover sequences purely increase their own damage. It does nothing for buffing. Shorekeeper is just gonna be a better buffer than Air Rover is. It would be a different story if Air Rover could use the Gust set, but they can't. Like, she can't use the Gust set because of how the kit is designed. I hate how they buff the 3-cost drop away of the Tacit Fields. I mean, it's nice for everyone whose name isn't Cartethyia, you know?
Astral modulation. Loading. Diminish.
Yeah, I think I have to start on Cartethyia here. Like,
Revealed at last.
Be reduced to cinders.
I won't back down. I won't back down.
Feathers incinerate.
Charge forth with me. Sounding the death knell.
Crosscut.
ah, fuck.
Sever.
Well, yeah, I just don't know if I can realistically get in under 50 seconds, realistically get in the 4 charge attacks on Changli that I want. Not with, like, Cartethyia, at least.
Take 4.
In war with time. Loading.
Beckon the divine flames.
Repent. For silence beckons.
Purge the impure.
Tides.
What?
Crash.
Animation cancelled her conquest like a few frames too early. The sound went off, but the stack didn't generate. That's so sad. There's like I think like a 10-frame window that can happen. Thank you for the answer. I can see the pain making it work. I was going to ask about using Phoebe for Shorekeeper stacks. Also for SF stacks. Think about Forever to take advantage of Gust set. I tried, but didn't lab. I felt convoluted. Yeah, exactly. I don't think, and that's the thing is, right, is that like, you're doing all of that effort just so Air Rover can give a 15% additive arrow damage bonus to Cartethyia. But also so you can build up stacks. And like, that is a thing you can do. Is it worth it? I honestly don't know, and I don't really feel like personally labbing that one. That one sounds like too much of a pain, honestly. I'm not super interested in Air Rover comps, to be completely honest. I will probably end up running them with Ciaccona at some point, but right now I'm just kind of focusing on Changtethyia, which I'm pretty like 90% certain at this point. It's just worse than Ciaccona team, but it's still very, very good. But the Ciaccona team, at the very least so far, has been way fucking easier to optimize than this team. And it's like, Cartethyia is really good for Changli, and probably better for Changli than a lot of other main DPS options, but she's nowhere near as good a match for Changli as Zhongli Yao is, which my main team I play is Changli Yao, where you run the two of them together. They just have better frequency of windows that lines up better. But Cartethyia is still very good for Changli. I just can't quite put out the Changli speed I need to hit the goal I'm trying to aim for clear time-wise, right? Because I'm not trying to just get it clear here. I'm trying to get a sub 50-second clear. And we got a sub 50-second clear with the Ciaccona team after a lot of optimizing yesterday. And I'm trying to see if I can do the equivalent with this team, but I don't think it's doable. We've gone like a 53, 54-second clear, which is fine, but I don't honestly think sub 50 is going to be possible just because Changli literally can't get her stuff out fast enough.
Take 4.
And if she can, I need to play like incredibly cleanly to make it happen is the problem.
True form revealed at last.
Be reduced.
Honestly, let me
to
try doing this.
cinders.
Play a different rotation.
I won't back down.
Perish in flames. Feathers incinerate.
To sounding the death knell.
Together we vanquish.
Charge forth with me.
Perish.
Vanish, my blade. Purge all evil.
Together we
Yeah, I
vanquish.
fucked with the Changli rotations way too badly there. I wasted 2 whole stacks.
Take 4.
In war with time. Loading.
Repent. For silence beckons.
Who's the caged bird now? Sever.
You won't. I won't back down.
Feathers incinerate.
Such is their blessing.
Did I forget to do the first swap? I think I did.
Take 4.
Astral modulation. Loading.
Oceans, bow before me.
Beckon the divine flames.
I won't back down. Destroy! Tides, rise and crash! Charge forth with me.
Together we vanquish.
Disperse! Windstorm!
Nah, that was too slow. Like, that's way too slow on like a second set. That rotation definitely doesn't work. Sub 50, you're gaming. Seeing you use no rover makes me want to try this with Carlotta or Jinxie. Don't have Ciaccona and Guy Makers are pushing Air Rover on the team if you don't have her. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't understand why Guy Makers are pushing A Rover. A Rover needs Ciaccona to work. Like, it's kind of the opposite. You need Ciaccona to make A Rover work, at least as I understand. Why are Guy Makers pushing A Rover without Ciaccona? Am I misunderstanding something? Like, am I missing something in terms of... Am I missing something in terms of Air Rover being able to... Thanks, Gaggledan. The Air Rover being able to use Gust Set? Because according to the kit as written, they can't trigger Gust without Phoebe. But I am wondering if that is true or not, or if there is some weird thing that lets them trigger Gust. And, God, am I gonna have to test that? I guess, Jamarcus, which guide makers like pushing A Rover? I'm curious who is talking about that, because I don't really look at a lot of other like content creators' guides and stuff, so I am not super familiar with them. But like any particular videos I can take a look at real quick to see if they know something or are doing something different from me that can help me understand why they want to use A Rover without Ciaccona, because that's very strange. I think most only recommend Rover with Ciaccona. Yeah, because like by the kits as written, Rover should require Ciaccona to work properly. In the Echo Reddit chamber, Ciaccona didn't seem as popular and people were annoyed by the Peeb Zani situation. Yeah, I could see that. You know what? Let me check something real quick. I know that Wallenstein did a run with the Changli Cartethyia team. This is Cartethyia for triple Cartethyia? What? But they did like this run. And they were using Air Rover here. I didn't actually get a chance to analyze this one. Oh, speaking of which, before we watch this, because we believe in crediting here, in the... Because we believe in crediting here in the GOONDOLA. Please, everyone, take a second to click on that link. Go like, sub, and all of that stuff, because Wallenstein makes incredibly good runs and all of that. And yeah, let me also add this to the description real quick, since I don't want to watch stuff on stream without crediting properly. Wallenstein's run we watched in the stream. Paste. Okay. That is not how you spell Wallenstein, Jinx. There is an N in there.
The moment at hand, this very moment, is the best of our lives.
Yeah, so like their focus is instead on feeding. Hold up a second. What was that? Gotta place another stack. It looks like they are doing like the rotations that work without, but it's weird that they're doing it with Changli. Yeah, so we have 3 stacks left. Okay, they're getting both out by in 30 seconds. So like this is what I mean by Air Rover not really helping right here, right? The thing that Air Rover does for Cartethyia is increasing the stack limit, right? I've seen suggestions, but I think with Sanhua, yeah, Sanhua works very well with her as well. Sanhua fits better with her quick swap windows because Sanhua has less frequent swaps and cooldowns. Honestly, I've seen has Air Rover just to get the full 6 stacks. Yeah, but so like that's what I'm saying here though is that Air Rover, the only thing that Air Rover really does, other than like the 80% arrow amplify, is to give you 6 stacks to increase the damage of her ult. But you can see in Wallenstein's run here, they still only have 3 stacks. They have 3 stacks when they ult. Right here. They only have 3 stacks, so Air Rover literally isn't helping here. Realistically, a Bijor would give just as much damage increase right now with her outro. Wait, this Bijor has a 50% outro, right? I forget. Anyway, point is, like, yeah. I think people are just shilling it because it's nice not to need short for team. Oh yeah, no, exactly, Gaggle, damn. Like, I think that's the big thing, really.
The moment at hand, this very moment, is the best of our lives.
Yeah, stack's being applied by Cartethyia, right? Yeah. Yeah, again here. They actually only have 2 stacks here because they burn a stack with this final attack here. With basic 5. Basic 5 burns a stack and detonates it. See? Right there. Like, right here. They only have 2 stacks left. So, like, it is nice that they're using Air Rover here, but Air Rover is literally doing as much as a Bijor right now. Like, in terms of actually amping her damage. Like, it's nice to see them using this, but, like, the Air Rover isn't actually doing anything except for some of their own damage. I think the idea is because of the limit to boosted, they would have 0 stacks if it wasn't boosted. Oh, that's a fair point, actually, yeah. That is a fair point, is that they would have 0 stacks without it being boosted using this exact same rotation. Unless they were to do, like, a Cartethyia swap back. That's a good point. Yep. Which is something you can deal with a Cartethyia swap back, but I don't know why I'm pushing so hard for like a sub 50, but I really do want to. That's actually a fair point though. Without the stack limit increase, they would be short. Also, they only do like what, 2? They also only do like 3 fortes here, right? On Changli, yeah. God, Air Rover just takes up so much field time. So he's just doing a straight double skill. He's not even bothering with the dive attack. Okay. This is nice though. He actually does a very clean swap back here. That's kind of an annoying swap back to time, if I'm being honest. The one right here where you start basic 4 on Fleur de Lis, where you start like doing the fan of swords. Right here. And then you swap off, and you have to swap back before she reaches the top, or you don't actually get the oh, what happened there? You don't actually get the basic 5 attack. It's a more annoying swap back to do in this team. But yeah. What set is there a Rover running? Because like their set should not, if they're running Gus should not be applying. Like, unless there is a localization or translation issue, which is entirely possible. It's entirely possible that the localization is just wrong. But if assuming it isn't. Yeah, like, their Rover is doing a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, they're using Rejuvenating Glow. Yeah, see, they're using Rejuvenating Glow here, which is buffing Changli, because, like, the Gust set literally doesn't work. Oh, I didn't realize they had a second run in here. Oh, they're just doing some slowdown on the, wait, I saw a second run. They're just doing some slowdown on some of the swap tech. That's fun. But yeah, like I said, I posted this video in the chat. Everyone make sure you go give it a thumbs up and all of that stuff. Yeah, the tournament seemed interesting. I should probably, if they ever do another one, I should probably look at actually trying to see if I can get into that, because that would be fun. Yeah, I don't know. You were saying that's... You're saying that's... I think you said, what was it? I Went to Lose, and... Who else was recommending them? I Went to Lose, Sweetilly, and Saints. Well, I know I Went to Lose is like... I know I Went to Lose is like shielded by... Grim from Pridwin, so...
Hello,
I know that his numbers look good in terms of his sheets and everything. I don't really know much about Sweetilly and Saint Tontus though. I just know about Saint Tontus from... I mostly just know about Saint Tontus from all the drama stuff related around him. Even then, I don't really know what the drama's about. I've heard about it.
Teams. Overall, her cookie cutter best team on...
Oh yeah, also. Copy. Again, we do the thing again. Pastes. Everyone, please take a second to click that link and go to the video and shoot it a like. Send I Win to Lose a nice sub, because we believe in crediting the videos we watch here in the GOONDOLA. I Win to Lose is Cartethyia guide that we also watched. I followed his faster combo, works well. I love when I went to lose. I've been watching him since Genshin. But yeah, I remember him coming into like the scene like right around when I left, if I remember correctly. Like he started coming into Genshin Impact theory crafting right like a little bit after I left, I'm pretty sure. I remember his name popping up. I just haven't like consumed much of his content. So if I haven't consumed a lot of someone's content and I haven't also been able to see like I guess their numbers or know what their assumptions are or things like that, then I tend to hesitate on recommending people, but I know that Grim reps him on Pridwin, and I've seen Grim's numbers and trust Grim, so that's why I feel comfortable
Cartethyia,
looking at stuff.
Ciaccona, and Arrow Rover. Arrow Rover increases the max erosion stacks from 3 to 6, allowing Cartethyia to benefit fully from some of the erosion-related mechanics in her kit. Also, Carthethia's passive makes Arrow Rover much more usable thanks to the improved interrupt resistance. Ciaccona also buffs arrow damage and also the team's erosion damage and also applies plenty of erosion stacks. On this team, I recommend the Rejuvenating Glow on Rover and the Gusts of Welkin on Ciaccona. Unfortunately, replacing Ciaccona with someone like Shorekeeper does lead to a significant performance loss, but still, Cartethyia should be a pretty decent and strong character even without Ciaccona. Now, I did get Phoebe a try, but honestly, I found it pretty clunky. But maybe some of you guys will be able to make it work better than I could. That brings me to the next character I actually recommend if you don't have Ciaccona, Sanhua. Cartethyia actually does deal a decent amount of basic attack damage, and as such, when in need, bring Sanhua. As for Arrow Rover, you can replace them with Shorekeeper and not suffer as much of a damage loss in comparison to losing Ciaccona. This might be a good option if your Rover has
Oh, interesting. Yes, Calc. He has done more extensive damage sims in Calcs than I do. So if his rotation shows that Shorekeeper is actually worse, then it's very possible they are. Personal team total damage. Yeah, I mean the loss of Rover's damage is definitely possibly a thing.
This might be a good option if your Rover has other waifus to attend to in their harem, like being Frazolbulus for Zani. I'm sure there are plenty of other combinations that can work, like Alto even. So let me know what you end up cooking up in the comments below. Alright, I've got a couple quick showcases for you guys, with the first one being the cookie cutter team.
Like I said, the math we were doing was pretty much just napkin math. It's not actual full rotation, because the napkin math that
changing the way I say her name.
Napkin math that we crunched 2 days ago for this was just looking at damage amp and
it's not, I guess,
going around and looking at the damage amp, which is lower.
Anyway, my apologies in advance. But this run in particular, against the Tempest Mephis here, this center tower 2-1 has some major buffs for
it makes
arrow as
do a
well as
lot of
erosion,
damage.
So do keep that in mind. But still, you know, this
Which is
team
why I
feels,
personally don't like testing in center tower.
And pretty smooth, although I gotta be completely honest, I'm not a big fan of Arrow Rover. Arrow Rover feels a little clunky, and I'm sure there's many ways to optimize their rotation, but unfortunately I'm not that aware of it. But yeah, this specific run I decided to include, even though it wasn't my fastest run, because I managed to do the cooler, slightly faster rotation, but then the rest of the run was kind of flubbed up, where here I am, I'm not even sure what I'm doing with Ciaccona, but you know, we managed to beat this thing, obviously, pretty effortlessly with this team, and Cartethyia is going to be a really satisfying and fun character to play for many, and for me, you know, while I haven't had that much time to really practice and play with her, kind of more of an introduction to the character, I can definitely see a lot of people doing some pretty crazy things with her when it comes to quick swapping, as well as literally swapping between her two forms. And it's going to be really cool to see what the community can cook up. And for this run here, I've replaced Ciaccona with Shorekeeper, demonstrating you don't absolutely need, you know, Ciaccona in order to run Cartethyia. In fact, because Cartethyia actually deals a decent amount of basic attack.
It keeps bothering me that he keeps saying Cartethyia since it's got the T in the backwards. But
you can get away with a team like this, which is pretty cool to see. You know, that's definitely something I wasn't really expecting at the beginning. But yeah, you can just pretty much spam a bunch of basic attacks with this, especially with Sanhua providing the basic attack amplify for her in order to, you know, deal some, I guess, a decent damage. You can see definitely the here I've replaced Ciaccona with Shorekeeper, demonstrating you don't absolutely need, you know, Ciaccona in order to run Cartethyia. In fact, because Cartethyia actually deals a decent amount of basic attack damage, you can get away with a team like this, which
he's
is
like
pretty
actively
cool to see.
avoiding
You know,
burning the stacks.
something
Oh
I
no,
wasn't
he's
really
not actively
expecting
avoiding
at the
burning the
beginning.
stacks.
But Yeah, you can just pretty much spam a bunch of basic attacks with this, especially with Sanhua providing the basic attack amplify for her in order to, you know, deal some, I guess, a decent damage. You can see definitely the Liberation is doing a lot less damage than with the previous team. So
I don't know if they... I guess the important thing to note is that they're actually getting a decent amount of stacks up, which is what is allowing Air Rover to be valuable by feeding intros into Cartethyia. Because that's what you have. When I was saying you have to do some different rotations with her to get her actually to have high stacks, that's part of it, is getting intros into her.
The rotations. After your supports perform their rotations, perform the earlier Cartethyia rotation, which was intro, basic 2 to 4, skill, plunge to absorb the swords, and liberation. Now you've transformed into Fleur-de-Lis, where for her simple rotation you can simply press Resonance Skill 1, Resonance Skill 2, then mash that basic attack button until her forte is full, and use her liberation and then outro. Of course, this is the simple Fleur-de-Lis rotation, and keep in mind that Fleur-de-Lis is...
Oh, how's it going, Dread? Good to see you. Oh, damage on Carter is much different, but a damage on Ciaccona arrow with a Sculpt Keeper is what makes a difference. Yeah, I mean, that's what I figured. The thing is, though, so, like, the thing that I would assume would be the difference maker there is the difference in field time. Air Rover just takes a lot more time than Shorekeeper does. But at least on the Ciaccona team, I can understand why that doesn't matter all that much, because you're still basically hard capped rotation speed-wise by Cartethyia's ult cooldown. Because as we were seeing in some of my Changli runs, an issue I keep running into is that I'm literally getting... I'm rotating so fast with Shorekeeper that I'm getting Fleur-de-Lis's second ult ready like 3 to 4 seconds before the cooldown is up. I love the discussion though. Even if Rover gives more damage, throwing them out just because of how they play is valid. So many aerial attacks just miss because of wonky hitboxes. Yeah, I've heard that being a problem with it.
This rotation is actually quite flexible, so you can do something much cooler instead. Like this rotation, where Cartethyia's stuff doesn't change at all. Once you enter Fleur-de-Lis mode, use her skill 1, then midair 3, aka plunge attack.
Yep.
You can execute this midair 3 by holding the basic.
This is the rotation I generally try to do. It's slightly faster.
Use her skill 2 into basics 3 through 5, and now you can actually use her heavy 1 and 2, which will give you just enough forte to perform her liberation 2.
It also gives her an extra quick stop window.
This rotation is that it's a bit shorter. So yeah, as we can see, you'll have a lot of chances to test and optimize your personal playstyle with her. You can even swap cancel a lot with her if you want. And on screen I have this example full team rotation. Now keep in mind that Rover's rotation will be faster after the first rotation
that I am
because
missing.
of Cartethyia's passive, which provides Rover with some wind string. Regardless, as always, hopefully this gives you a decent starting point for you guys to experiment.
Okay. Yeah, no, okay. So I appreciate you guys pointing out this and taking a look at this video. So there is definitely a thing that I was missing, which is that by having Air Rover perform their outro, because you're starting off with 6 stacks, that means that you can still end, even without Ciaccona, you can still be ending with like 2 to 4 stacks for your ults, even though you don't have any way to build the stacks other than Cartethyia. But by feeding intros into her, she can build up to that 6 stacks before going into Fleur-de-Lis mode, which makes sense. So that definitely means I have to reassess how like I feel about Air Rover as a character for this, because my assumption was that we were going for Air Rover due to buffs, and that her stack increase doesn't really matter because we don't have a way to effectively apply stacks to get to that higher level, like 6 or 3 or whatnot, during Fleur-de-Lis's rotation, which is true, but starting out at 6 and ending at 3 is still an improvement compared to starting at 3 and then running out by the time she ults, which is kind of the alternative. Even if you can't reapply during it, because in order to reapply, you have to swap back to Cartethyia, because you can only apply Arrow Erosion with her during her ult. Oh, during Cartethyia form, the small form, and not Fleur-de-Lis large form. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Ugh, do I have to learn how to play Air Rover? I don't want to. I don't want to learn to play Air Rover. Do I even have a decent DPS glow set? I'm pretty sure my decent DPS glow set is like on. If I do have one, it's already on Shorekeeper because I think it's funny to build it for crit. Oh my god, that is such a bad piece. There's a guy who's in this team with Sanhua boasting of 5 to 6 stacks. Yeah, so it is possible, Taco W, to be able to do it with 6 stacks. It's just like I was mentioning, it's a weird rotation. You have to do a weird rotation, and the question really is it worth it if it slows down your rotations or not? I think the best case scenario for Rover on Cartethyia teams would be on the new set and go full damage, since Air Rover set is dead without Ciaccona or future characters that apply negative statuses. Yeah, that's a fair point. You could just go for a rover with just straight up damage. That would actually make some sense too. I guess the question is whether a rover's damage is enough that it's worth building them for damage. But since you can't rejuvenating glow buff Cartethyia anyway, that is actually a fair point of just trying to make them into more of a sub DPS option. Interesting, interesting. Well, in that case, do we learn some Air Rover? Do we bother learning Air Rover stuff? I kind of don't want to, but it seems like it's probably a good idea.
As we head toward our shared future,
Okay, what the
leaving the past
fuck
behind.
is a rover's rotations again? This is the same one. Yeah, this is the exact same one. Yeah, this is I believe the same one that I Went to Lose recommends. I know that I Went to Lose and Grim like collaborate, so it's likely they both will be using similar fastest rotations. Yeah, Grim seems to have most of the same conclusion as me, which is that without Ciaccona, it's hard to build up stacks. There are ways to do it, though. It's just you kind of have to play around doing it that way, I guess. Okay. Let's... Cope. Let's try some of this stuff with Air Rover. I guess let me practice Air Rover's rotation first and foremost before anything else. It would buff Ciaccona, though, and the air erosion ticks. What would buff Ciaccona, do you mean? The arrow set? Yeah. If you mean like the air erosion set, yeah, Ciaccona's the one who would be running it in any team that has Ciaccona in it. And also buff her erosion ticks, which is nice because she's the one who actually does decent erosion damage. Okay, so it's fucking what? Skill 1, 2. No, wait, it's like 1, 2, skill.
Keep it together.
2, 3, skill 1, 2, mid-air attack, plunge. Wait, 40 cloud burst, pot 1 and 2. That's just doing basics, though, right? I never really got around to learning Aero Rover that much. I messed around with her a little bit and decided that I would go back and bother with that.
The power to split and
If they ended up
matter.
becoming relevant,
Let me be
which
there
now
for
they are,
everyone.
so now I actually have
As we
to...
head toward our shared future,
Oh!
leaving the past behind.
Yeah, it's just doing 3 basics, basically. Wait, when casting mid-air attack, Cloudburst stands, hold the normal attack to perform mid-air attack. Wait, I have to hold, it's not press? Casting the 3 following is press normal attack right after casting, press normal attack right after casting intro skill, press normal attack right after casting heavy attack, raise a win. Casting mid-air attack, Cloudburst, hold normal attack to perform mid-air attack. Oh, by mid-air attack it means the plunge. Okay, let's do
Let me be
this.
there for everyone. As we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind. Let me be there for everyone. As we
Yeah,
head
so
toward
1,
our shared
2, and then the
future,
plunge,
leaving the past
basic 4.
behind.
1, 2. Okay.
Tempest of slashes.
Yeah, not bothering to do the third one then, just the first
Let me
two.
be there forever.
For the faster forte rotation.
Let me be there for everyone. As we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.
Mid-air attack, heavy attack, razor wind, this time 3. Shortly after casting basic attack stage 4, max wind strings, press normal attack shortly after landing to cast. Normal attack shortly after landing to cast your resonance skill. So it's 10 wind strings. And for max wind strings, you're literally just pressing basic attack again to do your Unbound Flow Forte, which is kind of the big chunk of damage, I guess. So under here it is. Either that or you just press Resonance Skill, I guess. Okay. Okay, so Resonance Skill, basic 1, 2, charge, basic 4, 1, 2, drop again, alt,
Wind rises.
basic 4, skill, 1, 2, alt, and then after alts, are you pressing skill? Is that how you trigger the full wind string? Guess I'll just go ahead and test it in tower real quick. Because the rotation isn't particularly anything like that complicated. It's just a bit clunky and takes a while. You have entered Wuthering Waves as female rover. Congratulations, you made the right choice.
Take 4. Wind howls. Unfettered by bounds. Tempest of slashes.
Hold up. Oh, I need to do basic 3 on swapping. I was like, I am short. I am a little bit short, but that's why. Okay.
Take 4. Wind rises. I
Oh, shit. Basic 4.
am the Tempest.
Windwood on Air Rover is interesting, but Flow removes the stacks usually before you go back to Rover. Yeah, so that's the thing that we're kind of looking at, is the thing that I was kind of missing with using Air Rover with Ciaccona is that the idea is that you build the stacks up to 6, and then Ciaccona ends up, oh, not Ciaccona, sorry, with Cartethyia, and then Cartethyia ends up burning about 3 of the stacks, but you still have 3 left to amplify her ult at the end. And if you don't use Air Rover, then you don't have those stacks because you burn all 3 that exist. You can build 2 more stacks back by doing a swap back to Cartethyia, then back to Float at least, but that's kind of awkward, and also only works if your rotation's a bit slow because you have to wait for Cartethia's Resonance Skill to come back off cooldown. I've messed with that rotation a bit, and like you can do it, but if you're doing like a fast clean rotation, it ends up wasting time.
Take 4. Annihilation. Tempest of slashes. Waves rise.
Oh, I didn't need to do the plunge attack there.
Strikes. The wicked will face judgment.
Okay, so if I swap off then. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's not a bad rotation.
Annihilation.
Beckon the divine flames.
Sever. Tempest of slashes. Waves rise. Judgment strikes. The wick perish. Will face true form revealed at last. Purge the impure.
Feathers.
Torrents rage on, sounding the death knell. Exonerate.
Hopefully this helps.
Salvation. Furious tides. Split the heavens.
How many stacks do we have on that? I was honestly paying attention.
Crumble.
Whoops.
If it's a duel you want. Take form. You won't escape. Destroy. True form. Revealed at last.
Yeah, so we have 5 stacks, that's not bad.
And the tempest. Vanish. Gales purified.
Together we be reduced to
That was not the correct thing to do.
Break. Atonement.
Is it even worth doing Aeroba's rotation again? At that point? Because it doesn't really gain you anything, right? Because her outro for the increased stacks lasts for 30 seconds. That's enough time for Cartethyia to do another rotation. So, like, is there even a point for me doing another Aeroba rotation other than just them doing a bit of personal damage?
Take form.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, the buff lasts long enough to probably... That's what I'm thinking, is that, like, I mean, they get personal damage out, but you probably should only really need it... If you're doing, like, clean rotations, you only really need them to outro, like, once every other. And Cartethyia can mostly re-maintain her stacks if you feed the Changli intro into her.
Take form.
Who's
Do
the
that.
caged bird now?
Swap back to Aeroba again.
Wind
Pop
howls.
that.
Unfettered by bounds.
That's enough, right?
Wick crumbled. Will face. Repent. For
I
silence
pressed
beckons.
alt too quickly. I pressed 1 Q, but I think I pressed Q too fast, so it just alted instead of swap alting. Whoops.
Feathers incinerate.
And my fingers were slightly to the left, and I pressed skill on accident. Okay.
Take form.
Whoops, wrong input. I'm still trying to get used to the Aeroba thing. I pressed skill again, thinking that that was the right input. It was not.
Tempest of slashes.
Be reduced to cinders.
I am the tempest. The wind.
It's not that bad as long as you like actually do some like quick swaps during it.
Destroy. Repent. For silence beckons. Tides rise and crash. Exonerate.
My blade yearns. Hopefully.
Oh wait, shit, that's right. Now I don't have stacks on this guy because they're all burned on the previous guy. Oh shit, how do I deal with that? Right, Aeroba loses all value on this 2-stage fight. Huh. Yeah, that's a problem. Do I have to, like, burn Fleur-de-Lis stuff early to clear the first wave? Yeah, that's no bueno. On this particular fight, we don't have any erosion stacks at that point.
Take
Huh.
form. Wind rises.
Beckon the divine flames.
Sever. Annihilation. Waves rise. Judgment strikes. The wicked collapse. Will gone, wicked souls. Oceans. Bow before me. Sentence before. Sounding the death knell.
Perish in flames. Hopefully this helps. Together we vanquish.
Disperse! My blade!
Well, I can get 2 stacks by forcing the card Quickswap. That was very unclean, but I guess the idea is that you can technically do it that way.
Reduced to cinders.
Wind howls, unfettered by bounds.
Heavens, descend!
Such is their blessing.
Oh, well, there's a reason to do it. There's a reason to do it early. Not having enough energy for Cartethyia without a rover actually doing some kind of a rotation there.
Take form. Beckon the divine flames.
I don't know, maybe we have to do this weird thing with Cartethyia instead.
Before me.
If it's a duel you want.
Wind rises.
Through sacrifice. Mind's eye.
Waves rise. Judgment strikes. The wicked crumble. Will face.
Oh my gosh, this slows things down so much though.
Vexing malice. Perish in flames.
Salvation.
Take form.
Furious tides. Split the heavens.
I don't even have that many stacks active. Do I have any stacks active there? Holy shit.
Perish.
Ugh, and then mid-air, so I can't Changli Forte. I didn't even have any stacks active at that point, did I? Yeah, unless I do like a Cartethyia like form swap back. Rovers really scuff against this fight specifically because you are applying all of those erosion stacks to the initial guys and not the boss. Which is kinda scuff.
Wind rises.
Who's the caged bird now?
Too reckless.
Heavens, descend.
The wicked will wind howls. Unfettered by bounds.
Like, maybe if a rover had enough damage, but like...
My blade yearns.
Yeah, against this particular stage, it's actually kind of really scuffed to use Air Rover, which I guess highlights another issue Air Rover has, which is that if you can't, you're gonna waste all of those erosion stacks on the first wave or two playing with Air Rover, and then you can't really reapply them until the second ult rotation for Fleur-de-Lis. If built, that ult probably would have killed, yeah, probably, well, maybe, yeah.
Take form.
Annihilation.
Whoops, that was not the right combo.
Take form. Beckon the divine flames.
Keep it together. Annihilation. I am the Tempest. The wicked
Perish.
will face.
Yep.
Be gone, wicked souls.
Such is their blessing.
True form.
Oh, this is so slow doing it this way, though.
Sounding the death knell.
Oh my god, she keeps getting interrupted. And then I'm concerned about having enough energy for the next one once I do a full Air Rover rotation.
Take form.
Good.
Be reduced to cinders.
Crosscut. Wind howls. Unfettered by bounds. The wicked will face judgment.
Together we vanquish. Feathers incinerate.
There's so much health left. Yeah, trying really hard to preserve these stacks
Take
is...
form.
Beckon the divine flames.
Bright tempest of slashes.
Crosscut. Sever. My blade yearns.
Good. Waves rise. Judgment strikes.
Together we vanquish.
Wind calls. Waves follow. The wicked will face. Purge the impure. Repent.
It took so long just to get to this point trying to like kill these guys without...
Tides rise and crash.
In flames.
Nope, timing's off for that too.
Together we vanquish. Who's the caged
Yeah, no.
bird now?
Trying to squeeze in those extra stacks just doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, I do not like this team with Air-Over. Not, at least not on multi-wave content. Like, on single boss fights where you don't have to deal with other waves, I can definitely see it making sense. But on multi-wave content, because you apply all those erosion stacks at the very beginning, like, I definitely think that Wallenstein picked that boss very specifically because this team does not work nearly as well against wave content. So like that one specific boss, as well as the first boss in Middle Tower, are definitely the ones where like Air-Rover showcases look good. But on multi-wave content, it falls off really hard.
Tempest of slashes.
Beckon the divine flames. Sever. Feathers incinerate.
Wind rises. I am the tempest. The wicked
Together we vanquish.
will face. Wind calls. Waves follow. The night's challenge has arrived. Purge the impure. Repent.
For silence beckons.
Tides rise and crash. Quietus. Furious tides. Split the heavens.
Definitely less clunky. It's not even a matter of it being clunky, JD. Like, I'm trying to do like a different rotation to try and make it work, and it still won't work. If I do the exact same rotation, Air-Rover just literally doesn't help at all. It's like they aren't providing anything. Which is like my concern with Air-Rover was there's just not enough stack. There's not enough erosion stack application in this team to make Air-Rover useful outside of the very specific scenario where you are fighting a single boss, nothing else. In that situation, Air-Rover works. Outside of that, Air-Rover's not really providing anything. Which is why, like, it's nice in that situation, but as soon as you hit wave content, they just fall off really hard unless you have Ciaccona.
Is the best of our lives.
Take form.
Who's the caged bird now?
Mind's eye. Tempest of slashes. Wind
Please
howls.
just die.
Fettered by bounds.
Together we vanquish.
Well, if I didn't get one guide there, actually, I might have been able to clear them before Cartethyia did her stuff. I don't know. Let's just do the normal rotation. I'm trying to like do what I can to wipe this early wave and save the erosion stacks, but it's wasting so much extra time, it's just not worth it. Like, I'm not even getting into fleur-de-lis form until like 25-30 seconds in, and by then on a normal rotation I would have already ulted on fleur-de-lis, so it's just really not worth it.
Take form.
Be reduced to cinders.
Sever. Good. I am the tempest. The wick Herod will face. You won't escape. True form.
Okay, I got a stack on there at least.
in
Salvation.
Not that it matters, they're all gone by now anyway. All the stacks are already gone.
Together we vanquish.
Wind calls. Waves follow. Waves rise.
Ah, I was supposed to do a basic 4 there, I fucked it up.
Who's the caged bird now?
Sever. The wick collapse. We'll face.
Woo!
Triumph through sacrifice.
I won't back down. I won't back down. Oceans, bow before me. Sounding the death knell.
My blade yearns. Hopefully this helps. Together we vanquish.
Flood, furious tide.
Yeah, there's just no stacks.
Heavens.
Be reduced to cinders.
And Rover generates so little energy too. Like, I am so short on energy on both of them compared to Shorekeeper. Like, I'm doing 2 full, like, Rover rotations too, and I'm just so short on energy for both of them. I would need, like, an extra 20% ER at least to, like, be ulting is the same I would with Shorekeeper. That's crazy. I don't know, let me try to do some cleaner runs, but that was kind of insane how low on energy we were there. Like, I'm only running, like, I'm running sub 10% energy on both Cartethyia and on Changli, but when I run Shorekeeper teams, I still don't have much in terms of energy issues, and that was a massive energy deficit. I might need to do the secret tech where we get Fleur-de-Lis to funnel energy into the second ult immediately, even if it drops manifestation early. Oh wait, why am I on a reset to Shorekeeper team? Whoopsie. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, we're already showing off that, like, that team does not work very well for that content. Like, we still cleared in plenty enough time, right? But my Ciaccona team with Shorekeeper cleared in sub 50 seconds on, like, a really clean run. And that was not a clean run, but we were still pushing, like, 1 minute 20, which is literally over 50% slower. And my air rover's not built by any means, but it's still a very noticeable deficit.
Take full. Beckon the divine flames. Feathers incinerate.
Waves rise. Judgment strikes. The wicked perish. Will face. Such is their blessing.
Perish in
True form. Revealed at last. Tides rise and crash. Salvation. Annihilation.
from defense to offense.
Disperse the tide. Windstorm. Sweep all
So we got 3 stacks left for that, right? That's not bad.
We vanquish. Hopefully the wind howls.
Might as well just pop this immediately.
Unfettered by bounds.
Whoops, that was
Who's
bad.
the caged bird now?
Perish. Heavens. Descend.
Feathers incinerate.
Such is
Holy energy deficit, though.
Mind's eye.
Holy energy deficit, though. What the fuck?
Repent.
For silence beckons.
It took so long to get that back again. What?
Together we vanquish.
Okay, yeah, I have to do the secret. I have to do the secret tech. It's gonna reduce the amount of damage erosion does, but that's not a huge deal. We have to do the secret Cartethyia tech.
Take form. Beckon the divine flames.
Oceans, bow before me. I
Oh my gosh, all that shit
am
just
the
fucking
tempest.
missed. Yeah, reset. All that shit just missed. That's very not good.
Oceans,
Secret Cartethyia attack!
bow before me.
Who's the caged bird now?
Waves rise.
Oh my gosh, she keeps
Judgment
missing because
strikes.
this guy moves so much. That's actually kind of crazy.
You won't
Game?
escape.
You gonna read my charge input, please? Huh. So many basic fours missed because he kept moving around that we couldn't get the rotation going the way it's supposed to.
Be reduced to cinders.
Repent.
For silence beckon.
Wind howls, unfettered by bounds. I won't back down. The wicked crumble. Will be sentence befall. Tides rise and crash.
Atonement. Together we vanquish.
March on. Quietus. Windstorm.
Only 2 stacks there.
Sweep all the way. Huh? Yeah. Wind calls. Waves follow.
Crosscut. Who's the caged bird now?
What? Trying to see what I can do to weave in and make this first rotation more efficient than just doing like traditional hyper carry.
Take true form.
And make sure the energy
Revealed
issues don't
at
become
last.
issues because holy energy issues.
Tempest of slashes.
Beckon the divine flames.
Right. I am the tempest.
Jesus! She keeps whiffing. I do kind of see what you mean by the aerial attacks being kind of awkward though, especially when enemies moving around.
Take oceans. Bow before me.
Who's the caged bird now?
Waves rise. Judgment strikes. The wicked crumble. Will face. Such is their blessing.
My blade yearns.
Torrents rage on. Salvation.
Take form.
Exonerate.
Together we vanquish.
Disperse my blade. Purge all evil.
Yeah, not very clean.
Sever.
Not very clean first rotation, even with me trying to squeeze in more weird stuff in there.
Take form.
That's not too fast that they even get the intro. They even get their basic 2 out. The enemy hadn't spawned in yet.
Take repent.
For silence beckon.
Annihilation.
Beckon the divine flames.
Wind howls, unfettered by bounds. The wicked collapse. They will face. Huh? Gales purify. Tides rise and crash.
In flames.
Purge me. Together we vanquish. Perish! Charge forth with me. Fury!